Welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, where we explore all things books, business, and bullshit. My favorite bees. I'm your host, the fairy coin mother, Cinquanta Cox-Smith of www.cinquantacoxsmith.com. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, season 4, episode 10. We are here at the season finale. And you know, I always give you guys an amazing life update. I also have so much to talk about the Texas winter storm that we just went through last week. We are finally starting to recover, but there is so much work still to be done in this state. When I say so much, I mean so much, so many lives lost, so many homes damaged, so many homes lost to fire. There was also a huge hotel fire here. If you guys have any family members that you have not checked on, please make sure they are right. Reach out to your friends and family and make sure that they are recovering. My kids are still out of school as of right now. Basically, they'll be out of school for 2 weeks. By the time you guys hear this, we are fine now. But I will go more into detail about what happened and what was it like, and just give you guys a quick life update. I'm so excited that I can say season finale. I've been consistent with this for 4 seasons and then up to 60 episodes before that, and celebrating my 100th episode this season has been phenomenal. It's been life-changing. I am just proud of myself for continuing to show up for myself, continuing to put out content that you guys seem to love. I am so blessed that you are here, just subscribing and listening and just being a part of my community. I'm forever grateful. I know that I say that a lot, but you know, I'm someone who really and truly means everything I say when it comes to that. I hope you guys enjoy this season finale, and you know what time it is. It's time for our rapid fire questions of the day. So the rapid fire questions of the day goes as followed. If you could teach one subject in school, what would it be? So hands down, because I had an amazing English teacher in the 6th grade, and then I had another one like basically 9th through 11th grade, who were both amazing at what they do. I think that's where I really found my love of writing. And I had a really good English teacher my first year of college. So I think that helped as well. And they all some way have shaped my writing style. Very descriptive. I love descriptive writing, and I love telling a story from a third person's perspective. That's so hard to write. I do find myself sometimes going back and forth, but I would love to teach English just so that kids could find the joy in the creative part of writing. Like, grammar is not my strong suit. I do not always get it right, but as far as the creativity part, as it leads to writing and developing a story, that is like my biggest joy. I love and enjoy just telling a story from scratch and creating it, developing the characters and things like that. I would definitely teach English today. So the second rapid fire question of the day is, what's a city you wish to visit in the US? So of course, obviously, I would probably say Nevada to go to Vegas, but I really want to visit Arizona. I don't know what it is, but I want to go to the desert. I would definitely go to Arizona. As you guys know, I always post the rapid fire questions of the day over on Instagram. Make sure that you are engaging in the rapid fire question of the day when I post it on the Instagram, so I can find out what city in the US that you would like to visit as well. Texas winter storm. I don't even know the name of the winter storm. I just know it was ice, ice, baby, snow. Like, let it snow, let it snow. So it's a between Elsa, let it snow. No, that's not how I go. How I go? That's how I go. Let it snow, and then Is it Mariah Carey or Boyz II Men when they say, "Let it snow, let it snow"? That's how it was. It was like Ice Ice Baby, dum 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 dum, and Let It Snow. It was also freezing, sleet, rain, dark, contaminated water. It was all of that. I want to go ahead and get into this because my little intro, I just had to do it big for the season finale. So don't mind me for acting up over here. I just, because I can smile after the horror that we faced last week. I had no clue basically that February would turn out quite like this. Again, we went through freezing temperatures, no water, food scarcity, school and work closures, frozen and icy road conditions for about a week. Basically, in my area in Texas, we are in Killeen. There's other surrounding areas like Copper's Cove, Temple, Austin really got hit big. And then if you go further out, Houston and Dallas got it. I think it was just the whole state of Texas. It was a mess. A mess. Okay. This situation it's been one of those. It's been one of those situations that has possibly been the worst for me and my family. Like, I've toughed it out before in the cold by myself, but just for my family, like every state the military sends us to, there is goddamn snow. Can we get a break and retire in Hawaii already? Like, damn. I am so over the cold. I love the sun. I love the beach, and I could sit on the beach all day. But I want to really give a shout out because even though we went through all of that, my good friend Patrice, who welcomed us into her home with her family, and we stayed warm and had warm meals, she is the real MVP of this story of this week. And I thank God that they were living on posts and were able to, have power, have food, be able to cook and water, and to just be able to have enough space to allow us into their home. Because of course, she has a family of 5 and I have a family of 4. That was 9 individuals in a home, and I'm just so thankful for her and her husband. We also had a good time. We drank some wine and kikied as well, and our kids played together. So it was a little break from the reality of what we were truly, truly going through. I think, quite like myself, a lot of us prepared. We prepared as much as possible. We knew the storm was coming. I just don't think we knew it was going to be this bad. We did not get like the inkling of bad weather vibes until Sunday evening. It snowed and it kind of melted, and then it kind of kept snowing. And we were like, okay, this is just snow. And then it was like, no, y'all gonna get more. And then it's gonna be ice. And then we're gonna have to do rolling blackout. So it was a lot. It was a lot to handle. It feels like it came quicker than we thought. And then on top of the ice and the melt, it continued to snow. We just went through a lot of different things last week. My family is now safe. We have each other. Thank you to everyone who basically texted and called or just to check on us. And I pretty much recorded YouTube videos and podcast episodes for the most part. Most of my work stuff was done. So this is why you guys did get an episode last Friday when you probably thought like, wait, she's in Texas. She has no power. I also had a friend who texted me, Bianca. She said, ma'am, like, how did you release an episode? And I was just like, thank God for me and my bulk editing and bulk recording skills that like the previous Saturday, I had actually recorded 2 episodes, and that was the last 2 episodes, and I was able to edit them and have them up and ready scheduled. I didn't have to actually record anything. That was just a bonus in the skills that I possess to get shit done. I did write a book. It was a erotic short story that I was working on ever since last year. I probably said on this podcast last season that it would be done, and it wasn't. And this year I was trying to give myself grace and said, on Fridays I'm going to write. And we didn't have power. My computer did have battery. I took my notebook and I finished the story into a notebook, and I just transferred it onto my computer. I was able to edited, uploaded while I was at my friend's house, and I had already had the cover done. I finished a book during a winter storm. It was an erotic short story, so don't worry, it wasn't like a full-on book. It was probably like less than 5,000 words and like 18 pages in Kindle. Don't think I just sat there and wrote a whole ass book. I did. So the other thing, I did have to like reschedule one of my calls. That Monday I had a call and I woke up to basically no power. I had to reschedule that. Then I just ended up doing it on Friday, but it was no big deal. The client definitely understood. That was fine. Now, speaking of calls, let's get into my life update. I am still taking calls until about the second week of March. I believe it's March 8th. And that's it. Like, when I say that's it, that's it, that's it. I'm not opening my calendar again. I actually closed my calendar last April, and I did not take calls for, it was almost a year, but I am done it all. done it all. I'm done. Okay. Of course, the podcast, I told you guys already that we're going on a 4-week break versus a 2-week break. After this episode, we will be gone until the first week of April. Thank God. I need this break to regroup after all of these episodes. I'm excited to bring back more interviews for next season. Super excited about that, to have more guests and then have some yearly updates from a few other guests as well. I am committed to also sticking with my 3 videos a week over on YouTube. So if you guys are missing the podcast, make sure you go over to my YouTube channel and check out my videos. I'll be there 3 days a week. You can see my face or hear my voice over there for the next month if you have like podcast withdrawals, and that can help you get through. I've really been thinking about just how I want to show up. I know a lot of people struggle with this, but I just want to stay true to myself and my boundaries. And I want to always be intentional about how I show up for myself and my business and for myself. And more lately, I'm like mapping out what that looks like for me. It does not look the same for everyone, at least for one of my print on demand businesses, and it'll probably be Coins and Connections. I'll be transitioning that business into 100% print on demand, hopefully by May. So that means Coins and Connections may not have a Etsy store, and we may not have a Shopify storefront. That means I won't have to worry about the customer service part of that business. That's just kind of how I want to leave it. The only thing I might leave on there on the Etsy store is things that I will have to ship out myself. That means I'll probably be like removing all the t-shirts. Then I'll have things like, if I have patches and stuff left, stickers and things like that, pins, probably notebooks and stuff like that I need to ship out. I'll probably leave those things alone. That's where I am. I have not made up my mind, but I know for a fact I want to be done with the t-shirt part of the business and just have you guys purchase my miscellaneous stuff on my Etsy store. With that being said, I won't have to actually have a Shopify store. I won't need to have a Shopify store for the little bit of items that I decide I want to use. This means like basically I won't have to deal with emails or customers and orders and stuff. They'll be able to purchase from the POD sites and be able to contact those websites with questions concerning their orders. A lot of people love service-based business, but I love creating and I want to spend more time just doing that. I'll try my best also to publish more books and things, but I'm not too concerned about the marketing. I do have a few things that I want to finish to completion. That includes my Journeys of the Heart book series that has about 4 more books to be written. And also the rest of my children books, plus a few other things that revolve around that. Those are some of the things that are important for me to bring to completion. And then I have like 3 nonfiction books that I do want to complete. And these are just things on my list that I've been kind of in the publishing aspect that I've been kind of drawing out. These updates are usually long. I apologize, but it's just because I like to let y'all know and witness the growth and the changes in my business and the hard parts that a lot of people don't talk about. There are always growing pains along with just still figuring shit out. When I learn something and it's helpful, I want to share with you all. One of the things that I am changing this year in my business is I went from my kids were actually contractors in my business. And this year I hired them as full employees because the tax break is totally different. That was something that I learned late. But now that I know, I want to share it with you. Please make sure that you do your research and your due diligence. Make sure you're writing down what your kids do. Last year, I definitely documented a lot of things that my kids did. They helped a lot with making the masks. They do help press shirts and pack stuff. My kids do a lot of work in my business already before they were contractors. It's just easy for me to kind of write down, what they do. That's one of the exciting things, making it a family business. My husband has also helped out a lot before, but he's not concerned about being on payroll. And then business-wise, I now have a foreign LLC. I'm still doing payroll with Gusto, and I have that link in the description of the podcast if you guys want to start doing HR and payroll. I did file my own trademark. Was it December or January? I'll talk more about that in the first episode of season 5 because I do want to go into a little bit more detail about it. Feel free to ask any questions about the process. I do know of 2 other friends who have done it alone as well. Also, the IRS just recently sent me a check, and I assume it was for overpayment from last year with my taxes, but it was sent to my business. I'm going to double check my IRS transcript just to see the exact reason. But I know sometimes people worry about doing their taxes and when they're in business and things like that, but keeping a really good record helps. I did work for H&R Block for a while. I try to keep up to date on like tax laws and credits and things like that. Oh, this is a podcast related one. Next season, I won't really be posting the rapid fire question and the Q Money Bag Start of the Week post on Instagram because they don't get as much interaction. And I know when to cut the axe on stuff. Me, like if it was getting like 10, 15 comments and like stuff like that on each post, then I would keep it. But I am getting rid of posting it on social media just because that's less graphics that I have to create when I do publish the podcast. Listen, if it does not make sense, don't do it. And if I'm creating these graphics and taking my time and it does not get a lot of interaction or people answering the questions, it makes no sense for me to continue to do it because that means that's 20 extra graphics that I have to do every week for those segments. I am possibly thinking about creating a new segment. I'm playing around with some ideas and some names, and hopefully that happens, that I can just add in there. Don't worry, I'm not going to add any more workload into what I already do. It'll just be something fun to add into these episodes. Also, my Coins and Connections Instagram will probably start to post. I'll probably start to post more about the podcast and less about the apparel part of the business. Maybe like 75% podcast, 25% apparel, and like just regular graphics like quotes and things like that. And yeah, more and more as the years and months go by and days go by, I get better. I get a huge revelation. I get a better understanding of what I want and the boundaries that I damn sure will keep in place. Okay. Paid in peace, y'all. Paid in peace. I hope this helps you to understand where my podcast is going, my business life is going, and just understand that I'm not perfect. I learn a new lesson every month. I say no to a lot of things. I end things when I feel I've tried my best. I gave my all. I'm okay with ending it, okay? I never have any regrets with it. If you are signed up to my Patreon, just know that my last episode will air on the 28th. I'll be closing that out completely. I will be starting to move a lot of these links from like my YouTube, my podcast, and things like that from my Instagram so that no one can sign up for them and like the Facebook group stuff. Because as I go and grow, I do need to make sure that people are not trying to sign up for things that are not available. I'll be making those changes on my social media and YouTube and things like that. But I'm not going to go back to the stuff that's already published because no, that's a lot of work. But I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing a little bit about what we went through during the Texas winter storm and then this huge life update that also involved some business stuff. Let's get into the next segment. This segment is called Q Money Bag Thought of the Week. Obviously, season finale is a big deal. We have so many hot topics that have happened. I'll just briefly mention that I want to talk about the Gorilla Glue Girl for the Q Money Bag Thought of the Week. Kim and Kanye divorce, and Senator Ted Cruz catching flights to Cancun. I'll give my take on these three. We're going to get into it because I want to add a little splash of fun to end this season. Let's talk about Gorilla Glue Girl. So I believe Tessica made a mistake and honestly thought that it was a substitute for the Granilla Snot, or it's another, what's the other thing? Gots to be glue? Yeah. I'm glad she got it removed, and shout out to the doctor who performed the surgery for free. Also, I didn't donate, and I probably wouldn't have donated, but y'all done bullied sis and reported her GoFundMe when all she did was ask for like $2,000, and motherfucker showed out and gave her 20 bands. Okay, that was not her fault. She asked for 2,000, and y'all said, okay, we're gonna go bigger and give you 20 bands, and now y'all mad. She got her surgery for free and basically bullied her into donating the money. Wow. That's all I got on that. I believe Kim will probably marry again. This is on the topic of the Kim and Kanye divorce. I believe she'll probably marry again. I know she definitely wanted kids in a large family. I believe she got that. And we all know that Kanye has not been right for a long time. And that's probably a situation Kim isn't willing to sacrifice her sanity for anymore. And she'll be fine. But let's just stay out of rich people business, all right? And Ted, listen. So Ted, child, if I had a jet, me and my family would have probably been on the airstrip with Ted, and I'm headed to Jamaica. Okay? I'm sure most of us wanted to fly out of Texas and the cold. Honestly, people ask, what do you need and how can I help? And honestly, no one really could help. Like, there was nothing that anyone could do who was not physically in Texas for us. You couldn't order us food because most places were closed. Most places weren't delivering. They canceled our grocery pickup on Sunday morning. Yeah. Also, you couldn't put us up in a hotel because we tried. We called half of Tuesday looking for hotels to be put up in, and you couldn't find one. We even tried like 40 miles out. So you couldn't really put us up in a hotel. You couldn't, like, the roads were so bad. Like, it was bad. It was horrible. People were getting stuck, accidents, it was bad. And it was just one of those situations. So I would have been on a jet too, okay? But that's the Q Money Bag Thought of the Week. And I hope you guys enjoyed these hot topics in my Wendy Williams voice. And until next time. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to leave a review and join the conversation over on Facebook and Instagram using the hashtag Coins and Connections. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Cinquanta Cox-Smith and at Coins and Connections. You can shop all merch at www.coinsandconnections.com. I love you more than I love this podcast. Peace.